Alright, so I'm just sitting here watching this game or whatever, and just thinking about, certain things revolved around the protocols when it comes to the virus. And I bring up the virus because of the protocols that match up with it. Now, based off of the quote unquote severity of the virus or the propagated severity of the virus, meaning how they disseminate it and they bullshit the numbers when it comes to quote unquote COVID cases rising and things of that nature, you know, it continues to not make sense. And I touched on this before, but it's very, very prevalent to touch on again. It's very, very important because we just living in a confused based society. Everything revolved around this world is based in confusion because the virus and its protocols don't match up. They don't match up. They haven't matched up ever since this fucking shit came here. You feel what I'm saying? Because in the NBA, you have these players playing basketball without the mask. Now, based off of their logic, when it comes to the protocols surrounding this virus, they say that the mask prevents the virus. Now, we know that that's not true because you can get viral particles on the virus, being that it's a quote unquote airborne virus, but it's not that severe, being that you have a 99.9% recovery rate. Do people do any research? Do people do any research? You have a 99.9% recovery rate for a virus in which you have these protocols surrounding it from the NBA and all these other sports leagues in which, it's nationally disseminated. So we're supposed to, look at it with a certain level of seriousness, being that they expect us to do so. But we know that is bullshit. They have these players playing basketball without the mask. Now, obviously they shouldn't, but based off of their logic, shouldn't, if you're wearing the fucking mask while you're on the sideline and you're not wearing it when you're on the court, what's the point of wearing a mask at all? It just doesn't make any sense, man. It's like, okay, while you're on the court, you're free of coronavirus. But if you get off the court, you got to put the mask on because you can get it. Even though you're in the same area, in close proximity with people, it's like the virus is just off the court. You get on the court, you're free of the virus. So everybody should be on a basketball court if that's the fucking case. Even when Kevin Durant, they told him that he can play until they found out that he had contact with somebody who caught the virus, and they had to find out while he was in the game. So they pulled him out the game when they found out that the man was tested positive, but he was already around other players. So why not cancel the whole game? It just doesn't make any sense. And this is how you know that this shit is bullshit. Because if this virus was severe, then the protocol surrounding it would be severe. We wouldn't even be watching basketball right now if this was a real pandemic. It's not. It's not, man. It's for eugenics. It's for certain agendas that's based in the inflation, that's based in the crash and so on and so forth. It's not real. We are living in a duplicitous society, and we've been living in a duplicitous society. They tell you lie upon lie upon lie upon lie upon lie. It's confusion upon confusion upon confusion upon confusion. Where you ask yourself all these questions about this virus that doesn't make any sense. Once again, you have these players playing basketball by your logic, without the mask. But, if they get off the court, they have to wear a mask. What sense does that make? What sense does that make? I touched on this before, but I'm touching on it again because I want to emphasize the confusion that we are living in. We living in confusion. And the people that's running this society, they don't give a fuck about the intelligent motherfuckers that question these things. Because this is obviously something that's just, this is something that's rare. That people don't look at this with a sense of, yo, this shit don't make no sense. Unless motherfuckers is just powerless, that they don't want to attack and combat this shit because it don't make sense. They require people to go get on transportation, on the train, on the bus, in the store to wear masks, even though you do research and the mask says, and the research says that viral particles can still, get on the mask. So why are you wearing a mask? Oh, I know, because it's all part of this new world order that we live in. This new normal. Let's change shit up. We're not going back to normal, y'all. We are not going back to normal. They're gonna basically mock the masses' intelligence with these protocols that don't make sense because people know, people have common sense, man. People can see that this doesn't make any sense. If you're telling me that if I wear a mask, it can prevent me from coronavirus, right? But I'm watching the NBA and I see these players wearing masks on the sideline, but when they come in the game, they take the mask off as if coming in the game is supposed to save them from coronavirus. But it's confusion because obviously they shouldn't be wearing a mask on the court. But you tell me that, people should be wearing a mask because it prevents them from the virus. So shouldn't you be wearing a mask all the time? Based off of that logic, based off of that stupid ass logic that don't make no fucking sense. This whole virus doesn't make any sense. This world doesn't make any sense. But thank y'all, man. Shalom to y'all brothers, man. I just wanted to, speak, my mind a little bit on just how I'm feeling about this fucking society, because we are like, this shit is going down the drain, y'all. It's going down the drain. It's so much agendas being pushed when it comes to them pushing this whole, mother goddess, divine feminine shit with this whole wage gap issue and, women complaining about everything about men and all this nonsense. It's spiritual, man. This is not just happening just to be happening. It's spiritual. So on one hand, we should be grateful. We should be happy. We should be joyful. But still, on the other hand, be circumspect. Understand that we have to move in a certain way. But this is all spiritual, man. It's a lot of avenues of deception and propaganda coming at us. It's crazy. And this coronavirus, from its inception, it's just continual, perpetual confusion. That's all it is. So thank y'all and peace. God bless.